This was the sight and sound outside of the Hudson County Correctional Center in Kearney. A car-only rally that drew hundreds, hoping to send a message to ICE.
Right now, we're in a very specific and extremely dangerous situation.
Steve Greenfield drove over an hour to participate. He feels the detention centers are a breeding ground for COVID-19 transmission.
There is no excuse, either from a moral perspective or from a medical perspective, for allowing this to continue.
Last Thursday, ICE confirmed that a member of their medical administrative staff at the Elizabeth Detention Center tested positive for COVID-19. In a statement, ICE tells NJNN, after not feeling well, the staff were self-quarantined. They then tested positive. They're currently receiving treatment. As of now, no ICE detainees or other staff are symptomatic for COVID-19 at this facility. ICE did not say how many detainees the infected staff member interacted with or specify what steps were being taken to protect them if they were exposed. Jorge Torres with ICE Free New Jersey helped organize the rally. He says detainees inside have told him this.
We've been hearing that they're not getting soap, they're not getting hand sanitizers, and the basic needs to disinfect yourself.
According to ICE, if a detainee is symptomatic, they have plans in place to treat them and isolate them from others. Protesters argue there are many ways to track detainees once they're temporarily freed.
Those are human beings, and those are human lives that we should also take care of.
Reporting in Kearney, Jennifer Marin, New Jersey News Network. Patrick Rodeo is a father, and although his kids aren't graduating from any schools this year, he can't help but feel for students who are.
You know, over a decade of life and, you know, schoolwork and the public school system here, and it ends online.
He decided he had to try to do something, so he called Collingswood High School, where his oldest son graduated from and where his youngest will graduate next year.
So when I asked the principal what their need was, he had mentioned that most years that there's a lot of kids that aren't able to purchase yearbooks. And they're pretty expensive, they're like $75.
$75 during this COVID-19 pandemic could mean choosing between a lifelong memory for your child or your groceries.
A lot of Collingswood kids are economically disadvantaged.
So with a goal in mind, Patrick set off on a race to raise funds. Literally. This past Sunday, Patrick ran 20.2 miles near his home. You can see here some students cheering him on from a safe social distance, of course. He figured some people would cheer him on, but he didn't think one of them would be Governor Phil Murphy.
For some students in Collingswood, the yearbook will be their bank of memories of a school year that was unlike any other. Because of Patrick, they'll now be able to hold those memories.
So far, he's raised over $3,000. Before COVID-19, Patrick was training for a marathon, but this race meant so much more.
You know, I don't have any real skills, honestly. So let me at least use my legs to, at least raise some money or do it for this cause.
If you ask any senior who'll be receiving a yearbook thanks to Patrick, it's likely they'll say kindness, not running, is his biggest skill of all. This was the emotional atmosphere outside of the State House Annex building. Heidi Torres is a member of Cosecha, New Jersey, a nonviolent movement fighting for permanent protection for the 11 million undocumented immigrants in the United States.
We're fighting, we're letting legislators know that this is not only a few people that are going to benefit, but the entire immigrant community.
Inside the Annex building, the Assembly Judiciary Committee listened to hours of testimonies from community and religious leaders who have been fighting for this measure for 15 years. The committee passed an advance Bill A-4743, which would create two categories of driver's licenses and identification cards. One license would conform to federal Real ID requirements that include proof of legal residency. Another license would permit people without a legal status to obtain a license. It now moves on to a vote by the Senate Transportation Committee this Thursday, December 12th. Assemblyman Eric Peterson was one of the two votes that opposed the measure.
Today what we're doing is we're catering to people who have disregarded our laws, and we're going to give them privileges that they don't deserve.
Among the supporters was Motor Vehicles Commissioner Sue Fulton, who cited a study by AAA that indicated unlicensed drivers were more likely to flee the scene of an accident than those with licenses. If the bill passes Thursday's vote, it would go for a final vote by the full legislature on December 16th. Josefina Zuniga has been celebrating El Día de los Muertos, or the Day of the Dead, for as long as she can remember.
We celebrate the Day of the Dead with my grandmother when I was little, and I'm gonna keep doing this because when she passed away, she asked me to keep doing it, and I'm gonna do it until my last day.
Every year from October 31st until November 2nd, Josefina and Mexicans all around the world remember and honor their loved ones who have passed away.
It's not just like a day, it's a tradition that we have, and we have to pass, to our kids.
This is the first year the Day of the Dead celebrations will be held at Plaza Garibaldi in Passaic. The town recently named this park after the original plaza, which is located in Mexico. And Passaic Mayor Hector Carlos Lora says it's an opportunity to bring everyone together.
Considering some of the rhetoric that is being shared right now when it comes to immigrants, to have an event where community comes together, those who are Mexican and those who are not, to celebrate together, I think says a lot about what community really is about. Unity and understanding and openness.
The 3-day celebration will feature live music, contests, movie screenings, and even a parade. Gabriela PEREZ is one of the key organizers. She says seeing it all come together is a dream come true.
We feel this like a little piece or my country. It's a little Mexico right here, right now.
Bringing culture to Passaic.
Opportunities for others to enjoy the diversity of our city.
One holiday at a time.